The next thing we'll talk about when we're using route groups is namespacing. Namespacing takes this a step further in that we can help differentiate between different parts of our application. If we have that dashboard section, we can talk about namespacing into a dashboard namespace inside of our app HTTP controllers. With a route group, this is how it would look. In addition to our prefix for the route group, we're going to namespace inside of dashboard. It's common practice to capitalize namespacing. This will be under app HTTP controllers dashboard controller. Let's go take a look at that now and talk about why this would be helpful for us. Back in Sublime Text, if we open up our sidebar, we have everything under app, HTTP, and controllers. So we currently have the dashboard controller and the site controller. As our application starts to get bigger, let's say we want to do more than just get users. We want to route post to create users. We're going to route delete to delete users, and all of those things that we need for a normal CRUD style application. This dashboard controller would get pretty large if we had to show dashboard components, show user components, show CRUD components, and this way we would want to create a new file for a user controller and new file for a post controller, but it might not make sense because it's right next to the site controller and we want those segregated out into their own dashboard section. What we'll do is we'll create a new folder, call it dashboard, move this into the new dashboard folder, and we have to make sure that we're namespacing correctly. Since we're in this dashboard folder, we have to namespace into /dashboard, and this way our routes will know exactly where to look if we namespace here with dashboard. We'll take a look at how these routes look again. And it looks like it's finding controller wrong since this dashboard controller thinks that the base controller is in the same folder. It used to be, but it no longer is. Here, if we look at dashboard controller, it's extending controller, which is actually one folder out. So that's easy enough. We'll just tell it where to look. We'll have app, HTTP, controllers, controller. Try that again. And we get our routes again. Let's zoom out a little bit. All right. So now all of our dashboard routes are prefixed with dashboard, and they're also in the dashboard folder /namespace that we created. This helps a lot because now we can do things like PHP artisan make controller. We'll do dashboard user controller. We'll do the same for the post controller. And then easily now we have 1, 2, 3 controllers inside of dashboard, and the artisan command will automatically namespace correctly and bring in the correct controller. Let's do a little bit more. Instead of calling these users and posts for just the get, we're going to call these resources and use the resource controller, which will generate the get, the post, and all of those different things for us since Laravel gives us that helper. We'll take a look one more time. PHP artisan route list. Zoom out again. And you can see that just by adding route resource to users and posts, we have all of the dashboard posts routes and all of the dashboard users routes. They're correctly namespaced into the dashboard folder, and they're correctly prefixed with dashboard. So just like that, with route groups, namespacing, prefixes, and route resources, we've easily created all of the routes and are ready to create a bulk section of our application.